Hey guys, welcome back to Create Zim. And today we're talking about race and mental health. Today I have one psychologist and 4 students. Could they please introduce themselves, starting with the psychologist Clement?
Hello guys, and thank you Terry for having me on board. So a point of correction, I'm an occupational therapist specializing in mental health. So occupational therapist, Clement Nunzi. And I'm also researching on substance abuse, stigma, and social inclusion at the PhD level. I do lecture at the University of Zimbabwe. Thank you and welcome, guys.
Hi guys, I am Rutendo Duri. I am a final year student at the University of Manchester. I studied mechatronic engineering.
Hi guys, I'm Panashe Momka. I'm currently at the University of Exeter studying accounting and finance. From Harare, Zimbabwe, as everyone else is. Yeah.
Hi guys, I'm Tadiwa Nashe Chimuka, recently finished first year student at the University of the West of England, Bristol, and I'm studying property development and planning.
So what's the first thing that comes to mind when you think of race?
I think of being belittled, being different, and I guess the feeling that you're kind of outstanding is what I think of when I think of race.
Yeah, so being different, being other, being looked down upon.
I think, should I speak up about what I'm facing, or am I making it up in my head?
Right. Do I have a voice? Even if I do, you're going to listen to me. What say do I have in the society?
Exactly, yeah.
When I think of race, I just think of discrimination and just being, like Panasha said, belittled, and also just bullied to a certain extent, just for the color of your skin.
Yeah, so that segregation, being treated different just because I guess you may look different to everyone else. And Clement?
Yeah, to me, race triggers the thoughts of coloniality, like the colonization, the occupation, and oppression.
Awesome, thanks so much. So starting with PD's point, or Panashe Mamukta's point, he said race reminds him of being belittled, being different, being other. So before we go to Panashe, Rutendo, what do you think about that statement? Have you ever felt belittled yourself? Have you ever felt other?
Of course. I'll give a perfect example of our university, Terry, at the University of Manchester, where in my course, out of 230 students, I'm the only Black female engineer studying mechatronic engineering. And every time people look at me, I feel belittled, like I shouldn't be in that space. And, and because of that, it feels like I'm not allowed to be an average student. I can't manage to fail. If I'm Black and I'm in this situation, I should be brilliant. And that's really disheartening because I'm just here trying like everyone else. So yeah, that really makes me feel like belittled, and it's not a nice experience at all.
Yeah. TC, have you ever gone through such experiences?
I have, and there's quite a few examples, obviously, but I think it's just, especially in like social circles back home, where you can kind of see that people are uneasy when you're there, and it's certain people don't, they won't like greet you if you go past them. They'll just look at you kind of as if you don't deserve to be there, as if you're not human as such.
And Clement, any experiences?
Yeah, my experiences were when I was doing my my master's in South Africa. You know, Zim is a little bit different from what is out there. But to go into a space like what Rutento and Banashai and Chadiwa is saying, a space where other people, without saying something, they send a message of, we are not comfortable with you here. Or it's like you are not supposed to be here. And you have the pressure to prove the system otherwise, which I feel like my colleagues and my classmates didn't have such pressure. You need to prove people that you are worth being where you are, and you are always on your toe to do that.
Exactly, yeah.
And PD, do these resonate with you? Is this what you were thinking of, or something different?
Oh yeah, definitely. More relatable with TC's point, Tadio's point, in the sense that, you know, there's some specific places that you may go and literally you can just feel like you're not wanted. You have certain people looking at you sideways, and you just really feel out of place. And not because you don't relate with anyone, but it's quite evident that it's because of the color of your skin. I do relate with I think it's Rutendo, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do relate to Rutendo to a certain extent, because of course, like at the university that I do go to, it's majority white. And in some of the modules that I am in, it's kind of like when I walk in, they're kind of like, whoa, like, you know, who's this? And like, why are they here? Type of thing. And you do kind of get that aura, like you're out of place. But yeah, I guess that's just how I feel. Exactly that. That's it.
So that's very interesting. You brought up a very interesting point. We come into these places, these universities, where we are probably in the minority. Majority of the universities are white, and that leads on to Rutendo's point, which said, you know, do I have a voice? Should I even speak? What do you guys think, TC, PD, Clement? What do you guys think about, you know, having a voice, in particular, in a country like maybe the UK or the United States, where majority of the people aren't, I guess, Black?
I believe, obviously, you do have a voice, and I believe you should speak up about it, or else it's gonna keep happening, and you know you're always gonna end up looking over your shoulder. And especially like for me, I've got 2 siblings, so I always think of them and think, you know, if I don't speak up, then they're gonna go through the exact same things I've been through. And obviously, you're not gonna change everyone, and you know your voice can only do so much. But it's one of those things where you'd rather stand out than just like go with the flow.
Yeah, for me, it's just a situation whereby, you know, as Zimbabweans coming from, like, you know, where we've been from and the experiences that we've been through, I think going into university, it's kind of just you know what's extreme, and you know what to say no to, and it's really up to us. Well, it's not up to us, but it's also up to the people receiving our lectures and what we have to say to understand where we're coming from. It's also up to them to educate themselves on the topic of racism. But at the same time, it's up to us to stand up for ourselves and make them realize that they are being racist.
Clement, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I think when it comes to having a voice, it comes to that issue of being an activist for justice. Like being silent is not an option. So you need to speak up against injustice, and you need to aid to the voice that, you know, other activists, other people who have fought for the equality issue has done. If we are going to be in silence and just accept to be inferior and have other people dominate over us, it's just perpetuating the injustices which we are going to be talking about more and it will affect you as an individual, because you might be silent on the physical realm, but it's manifesting inside. You are saying a lot to yourself. So it's better to say it out and to confront it and have a voice. It's a good thing to do.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And all of you, I guess, brought a very interesting point. And Rutendo, I'll come to you just now. But there was a question of like ignorance. Obviously, you know, people say, you know, you're not born racist. You maybe it's taught. Maybe it's inbuilt in that structure. What do you guys think? Maybe.
Okay. When it comes to things like that, I do believe no one's born racist, but people can be raised by, I don't know, racist parents or a racist society. And at a certain age, you need to stop being ignorant to what's going on around you and learn what's happening in the world and be able to see that this is wrong, and you have to unlearn those traits for yourself. So to answer your question, I don't think anyone's born racist, but you can be raised in a racist society, and that you can develop racist traits. But at the end of the day, it is your duty to unlearn that and be accountable for the things that you have done in the past that were racist, if that makes sense.
I 100% agree with what Rutendo is saying. Obviously, most people, when you grow up, you listen to your parents, but you get to a certain stage where it's now on you to educate yourself, learn, and, you know, get rid of certain habits that you have. Because like Rutendo does say, ignorance, it's not an excuse.
Yeah, most definitely. And Rutendo, going back to everyone else's points, did this resonate with you in regards to having a voice? Or do you want to add on more?
I want to add on to what Clement said about how it manifests inside you. So on the outside, you will be quiet, but inside you're burning. And as someone with mental health issues and anxiety, that would bring a lot of anxiety to me, because I would be like, am I making up these things in my head? Like, was someone just racist to me? Or, you know, these are things that I'm the only person seeing it. And as such, I had to learn about the way to go around racism and stuff at my university. I had to learn that there's actually a platform where you can report something either anonymously, or you can actually put your name and a case is raised up and all that. And I think that's something that's definitely needs to be safe, because I don't think a lot of universities and places say we don't tolerate racism, but they don't tell you what platforms you can use to report cases of racism, or if you've been offended in any way. So we do have a voice, but we need to learn where we can speak, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Right place, right time. When is the right time to speak? Interesting. So going to TC's point, he spoke about discrimination and bullying. What do you guys think, PD, Clement, Rutendo?
Yeah, if I may weigh in on that, and maybe also building from the previous point that has been raised, if to just play the devil's advocate, I would say people can be racist and systems can be racist too. So on the part of people, you can talk about being ignorant and people who have not decided to move away from racism. But how does a system that is racist, like it's designed to make the black man inferior, it's designed to oppress the black minority, how does that get to be confronted by activists, by us as students, by us as practitioners? Then coming to the point where you're highlighting about discrimination and things like that, there are people who can overtly discriminate. Like you can see that I'm being discriminated there. Then there are systems that are already there. They make it so difficult by the way they are run for black people to be part of it. But they privilege a certain race to access such privileges and resources. All of you guys can attest to this. You are studying in well resourced institutions. But not many of you can make it to that. The system has been designed in such a way that you need to put up an extra. You need to have a fat pocket as a black man to be able to access such. So that's how racism also plays out. It gives privilege to a certain minority. It gives inbuilt advantage to the white race. And then when it plays out on the everyday activities, it then shows as discrimination. It then shows as bullying, but it's just the system that is playing out to what it was designed to be.
Interesting point. Anyone else want to add, take away, maybe make a new point?
Oh no, I definitely just want to, agree with what's being said about systemic racism. It's definitely a real thing, and in reality, it actually just folds out to be what we call white privilege today. And a lot of white people are at an advantage from the get-go. Black people, us as black people, as the minority, we have to work harder. There are just certain things that we have to prove in order to still make it to the level that a white person would have made it regardless of their situation, just because they're white, I guess. So I mean, white privilege is there, definitely. I do agree with that.
Rutendo, do you have any thoughts? White privilege, discrimination, institutionalized racism?
I definitely agree. It is there. But the question is then, are we willing to fight it? Because I think because of the way the world is now, we expect it to be a little bit easier. But I think we're still, a bit far away because we're not willing to do a lot. Like I said, it took a while for me to find out the resources and the platforms. We just keep it inside, but are we willing to go the extra mile to keep on fighting, until the system, we're waving red flags saying, no, the system is not okay. But I don't know, I think we're still a long way from that happening.
And TC, you've heard what everyone said. What do you think? Yeah.
I think like Rutendo just mentioned, it's all about, we mustn't bottle it up and just keep it in, or else nothing's ever going to happen. Nothing's going to come of it. I think it's just important to speak out when it happens, and just, make people aware that no, make people or the system aware that no, listen, that's not right. I don't believe that's right. You're not looking at me on the same playing field as you're looking at other people.